Welcome to The Snack, a lighter serving of Girls Gotta Eat.
This is a Dear Media production.
Enjoy.
Hi, guys. I hope you're having a good week.
It's voter registration day.
I just checked if I was registered. I wasn't sure.
Well, we just registered when we got our licenses here.
Yeah.
So check your registration. Vote.org, Tess?
Vote.org, yeah. I just went there.
There's tons of places to check, but is that like a go-to?
Vote.org. I literally just typed in my name and my address, my birthday, and it said you were
It's
registered.
so easy to check. Yeah. So deadlines coming up. You can check those in your states. And some states you can register to vote day of. Election day, like California.
You remember our cute little Girls Gotta Vote?
Oh, yeah. Girls Gotta Vote.
And Leah made us the little GIF.
Yeah. We'll be hitting up that Girls Gotta Vote campaign.
Yeah.
We have been. And then we have an episode with some political stuff coming on Monday. But anyway, since we're recording on voter registration day, just wanted to tell you guys to check your status. Make sure you're just good to go.
All right. We have a great episode for you guys today. Just a lot of gossip and insights and articles, but let's just thank our partners. Thanks to Daily Harvest. Get 15% off your first box of $100 or more at dailyharvest.com, and BetterHelp. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/GGE.
And thanks to Timeline, get 10% off your first order of MitoPure at timeline.com/GGE. And Helix, get 25% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows at helixsleep.com/GGE.
All right, kicking it off
with the TV report. Just gonna talk about TV. We're hot off the Emmys, sorta.
I didn't get to talk about the VMAs last week either, so you can talk about the Emmys. I'll compare it to the VMAs.
I don't have much to say. I feel validated in that I watch good TV because The Bear and Hacks won a lot of awards. Those are really my 2 favorite shows as of late. I don't watch Shogun. Do you?
I haven't seen it.
I have a review from the third person in our throuple. He said a little something.
Wait, he watched it? Okay,
he watches
great.
Shogun. So this is my fiance. I don't know. It's got to be a great show. It won all the awards.
It swept the Emmys. So sweeping the Emmys was Shogun and Baby Reindeer and The Bear.
So I said, first of all, he can't always be trusted because he told me that Leave the World Behind was a little creepy and it ruined my life. So he is not to be trusted.
Ashley sent me a 15-minute voice note about Leave the World Behind. I still remember where I was. I was at Soho House in Austin. I was having a terrible morning and you were like, can I make it worse?
That fucked me up because it felt so realistic. And then I found out like the Obamas were involved and I'm like, they know how the world is going to end.
Ashley gets really upset with like dystopian society stuff that could really happen.
And like tech failing and knowing that that's the beginning of the end and being there, people were stranded in New York City. I mean, whatever. So Leave the World Behind was what? Julia Roberts and...
I feel like I was there. You told me the whole thing.
And it was Netflix and it fucked me up. And my fiance said it was a little creepy. Anyway, so I said what I like Shogun.
And by the way, before you tell me what he's going to say, I never know what I'm going to get for him because like Normal People is one of his favorite shows.
I know.
And you like never expect a pretty masculine man to say that at all.
That's what I love about him. I mean, he's super masculine. He's like a car guy. He, is into sports, obviously, but he likes some of that like mushy stuff, like Normal People. We connected on that like early on. So I said, do you like Shogun? He said, I've been watching it recently. I have to rewatch though. You really have to pay attention. So can't text during it. He's probably been texting me. Now
he's like, Ashley, you can't watch this. Ashley, you never spend 1 minute without your phone.
Or Ashley, you don't understand stuff. Like I'm bad at like stuff shows. And then I said, well, I like it. And he said, I'm not sure, TBH, it's violent, but I think there's some romance about to develop. Like if Tell Me Lies had swords and dynasties.
Okay, so teen romance, which you do like. That's how he knows that it's.
I don't know if it's teens.
He's like schoolgirls falling in love.
Admittedly, don't know a lot about it, but it's subtitles, right?
It's an American historical drama television series based on a 1975 novel. It features mostly Japanese cast, and the majority of the dialogue is in the Japanese language.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's.
You can't watch that with subtitles.
I like to hear this. It feels like we're, it's an intelligent show if you got to read some of it.
Yeah, it feels like progress.
Like Emily in Paris. Okay, so that leaves me. Here's the thing, you guys. You can't be head down during Emily in Paris because you have to read sometimes. They talk in French a lot.
You could miss 10 minutes of that dialogue and just know exactly what's happening.
I am half joking, but I wanted to segue into me patting myself on the back for liking good TV and also saying that I love Emily in Paris.
Well, first of all, I rarely relate to stuff that wins the Oscars.
Yeah.
And like Academy Awards. Those are like not my movies usually.
Okay.
But the Emmys, I'm always like, I've seen everything, but not this year. I haven't watched Shogun. I didn't watch Baby Reindeer, which I keep promising myself I'll watch. The Bear, I love the first season, but I quit.
Ugh.
And Hacks, I loved the first season, but I
Raina,
quit. I mean,
stop. I feel really offended by this.
I know.
I really don't like it about you. It's women in comedy. It's like women of a certain age. It's amazing writing. It's laugh out loud funny. Like the agent character, I feel like you'd love, which I think he must be a producer on the show because he like accepts a lot of the awards.
I think he's the writer.
The
and
writer,
producer,
yeah. Hannah Einbender. I mean, Jean Smart. Raina, I get.
Ashley gets genuinely upset when I
No,
don't like
I
something that
don't.
she likes. Like she feels like we're not the same.
Yeah.
Ashley told me that Perfect Couple was a perfect show, no notes. And I was like, we're going to have a fight. We're going to literally have a fight.
Until episode 4,
Yes,
stop.
I
And
was
then we
like-
got on the same page. We were aligned.
I was really worried to tell you what my thoughts were about that show.
So to your point, I don't give one fuck about the Oscars. Like gave up years ago. Like I have rarely seen it. Used to see every nominee. Used to go see them in theaters.
I still do, and none of the stuff that I like ever wins.
Yeah.
I'm always just like, this is totally going to win. It's brilliant, genius. It never wins.
well,
But
last year Barbie, I was like, Barbie. I saw one.
I saw that one. Yeah. I know. You're like a cute night out.
I
Then we
never
got
saw
Mexican
Oppenheimer,
food.
but I relate to the Emmys. I feel like TV people are generally more down to earth, more comedians. So I
Totally.
like seeing even on the red carpet, Heather McMahon was amazing. And so I'm very into the Emmys. I watched most of them.
I feel like the VMAs ruined the Emmys from this year. Like the VMAs were just so wild and crazy this year, and the outfits were so incredible that like the Emmys were just like such a fucking snooze compared to that. Like to watch Sabrina Carpenter perform Taste in front of Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes, like I'll never recover from like what that must have felt like to watch her strut her little ass around that stage and make out with an alien, singing this song to the girl that got with her man after he broke it off with her to get back with his ex. Like it's the greatest I feel just like I could run through a wall thinking about it.
That's your hype. Like that's your hype song.
She's my people. She's so tiny, and it was like the most incredible moment in the world to watch. I was just like, you go girl. Also, I don't think we should like bully other women for situations, but like whatever. She made a great piece of art. She got to perform it in front of them. Like,
I mean,
it's
it elevates
incredible.
everybody. It brings everybody up.
Not Camila Cabello and Sean.
I haven't listened to Sean. I played Sean radio the other day.
You did?
And I don't know if I'd be like, I don't know. I
That's so
like his new
funny.
song, Nobody Knows.
Uh-huh.
And I put on Shawn Mendes radio.
Wait, that's hysterical because I'm listening to Sabrina radio in my house right
You're
now.
listening to Morgan Wallen radio in your house.
Actually, don't tell people that. I separate the man from the art. I hate it. I'm not proud of myself.
He's getting arrested again. He cannot stop throwing chairs. This man. Okay.
But anyways, yeah, I feel so hype about it. Taylor Swift finally got it together to do a good outfit for once in her life.
I know. We were talking about this last week. Like Taylor Swift is a moving pop culture target and she's doing something every day. We can't keep up with her. I mean, we recorded last week and then that night she endorsed Kamala and then she wore an amazing outfit. So I want to make sure we're not saying stuff that's like too dated. Like the VMAs feels like slightly dated at this point, but we still want to touch on this stuff. But I'm like, we got to stop talking about Taylor because she's going to do something new every day.
Yeah, and I know you guys have like Taylor overload, and my relationship with her is very complicated. So, anyways, I feel like in comparison, the Emmys, I was like, no one's doing anything crazy.
But it's music versus TV.
I
What are you
know.
going to do, you know?
Yeah, rock and roll, baby.
Okay, can I bring it back to Emily in Paris? So
Yeah.
a couple things, spoilers ahead. So the way it ends, I don't know if this will be of interest to you. It's going to be Emily in Rome. She's going to Rome, which I like. I think that after 4 seasons in Paris, let's move it over to Rome. So I do like that. A lot of the comments and the memes about Emily in Paris are so funny. Like people keep saying, when is her visa up?
How is she still there?
It's the fakest show. She's like, and now I'm going to go to Rome. Here's the thing about it is like, sometimes I'm like, Ashley, why do you like this? I was Googling articles. Why do people like it? Because you know me, I want to give myself some credit. Yes, of course, I like high school dramas and things like that, but I don't usually like really corny stuff. And to me, it like does toe the line. And it's almost too corny, but there's enough like spicy, sexy stuff. And that like, they'll surprise you, especially with the actress, Ashley Park, I think that's her name, who plays her best friend. And there'll be stuff that is spicy enough. Like it's not like Hallmark Channel, corny cringe. And it's just like a fun watch. And like, I love the fucking outfits. I mean, the fashion is like second to none.
This is a stupid question. It actually is filmed in Paris. It's not like a set. Do they go to Paris? Like you see like restaurants in Paris?
Yeah, it's filmed in Paris, right? Tessa, you're our
Yeah,
fact
I
checker.
think it's filmed in Paris.
Brigitte Macron was in it.
Stop.
But I was like, they said like they're in a cafe and they're like, there's Brigitte Macron. And I was like, it won't be her, right? It will be an actress, but why? Who would play? And then it was her.
It was her?
Like Parisians are starting to like it. Some hate it still. But I've read a few articles of like, they like that it shows their city looking so incredible. Like any New Yorker would be like, it's a great representation of the city. It might be a little too glamorized. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about it because it's greenlit for season 5 and everyone's excited. I am over the Gabrielle storyline. I think everyone is. I'm reading comments and he got less hot and it's just kind of tired. And this is not, as much as we hate Carrying Big, we still felt invested in Carrying Big the whole series. And I just feel like people are over him and they want her to just like have a man in every country. And I'm always team Alfie, but there's this new guy, Marcello. People are into him. But I just want to read a couple of my favorite memes because the memes are always fire for Emily in Paris. And they're some of my favorites. When I watch Emily in Paris, I feel like a dog whose owner left the TV on for them while they go run errands. I want to watch a new season of Emily Paris every year until I die. I don't want Emily to end up with anyone. I want her to have a hoe in every country like Sylvie. My favorite one. There's a lot of ones that kind of have the same type of structure, but I would give this season of Emily in Paris 100,000 out of 10 stars. Absolutely bonkers outfits. No plot of which to speak. I don't think anyone who wrote the dialogue has spoken to a human person. Emily should be in prison for life. I need more and I need it now.
So I sent you that meme also, and I said, does that track? And you said it does.
There's some storyline. There's a plot, I guess.
Okay, I have a question for you though. Okay, so the Evan Ross Katz tweet that we really liked about, and just like that, about how it is the worst show and it doesn't make any fucking sense, but like I can't wait to watch it forever. Is that your feeling about Emily in Paris? Because Sex and the City, by the way, the reboot, it's like it's so ridiculous to the point that it's problematic and ridiculous. And I never did watch another season after that. But like I couldn't stop watching it because it was so stupid. I had to drag it.
Yeah, I would go on record and say I will watch And Just Like That and Emily in Paris till I die. I'll be in the casket, put it on. Like I don't see a world in which I stop watching it. As long as they keep the same vibes, let's take Emily to Rome. Like I just love this show. I really did not like it the first season. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I couldn't understand why it was popular. And then I just leaned in and I embraced the cringe and I watched it just to have fun with it. Mm-hmm. And I love it.
Okay.
So, and then I was last night looking up flights to Paris.
I'm going to go to Paris.
When?
Did I tell you this?
No. For Thanksgiving?
When I'm in London.
So a friend of ours, so I want to go in like.
Wait, you want to come?
What, over Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Brittany's going to come.
I'll probably, Brittany, no, you and Brittany, that's your thing. Paris is your thing. No, I was thinking of going in February or March.
When it's cold.
Yes, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hear me out. And just so you know, I was looking at Valentine's Day and then I dialed it back because I always spend Valentine's Day with you. So I was looking at later in February. It's cheaper.
Yeah, people don't want to be there.
And March and February are the two least rainy seasons. And I don't really care about cold. I could do cute coats. I have this coat I haven't worn in years because it's like too fashion. Uh-huh. And I could really be in my Emily in Paris winter era romance in the air and hopefully no rain. Because that's the thing. It's like cloudy and rainy in those popular seasons.
Didn't you and me go in March and the sun never came out and it rained the whole time?
That is true. February. It's February.
We never saw the sun for 1 minute.
No, one day we did.
Remember we went to the Louvre? And like I tried to wait in line for the Louvre. I almost drowned just standing in the line.
To me? It's because you don't watch Emily in Paris. You're not part of the culture.
I'm trying to get you to come in November with me. Well, I'm going to London to meet my nephew when he is born. And it's just an easy train ride to Paris. And I'm going to be there for a week.
The best.
The best. So pop down to Paris.
That's a good idea. I'll think about it. But yeah, no, I got watching the show and then I was in bed last night. I mean, you can get round trip, even lay flat for cheaper than I've seen.
Oh, because it was very expensive, obviously, over the holidays. I mean, to the point that I was like, I don't even want to go.
Yeah, but like the hotels are cheaper. Don't everybody jump on this and jack the prices up.
I don't think people are going to.
Okay, so can we just do a quick Selling Sunset recap? Is that what we want to do next?
Yeah. Okay, so you were making me laugh really hard. Saturday morning, you were texting every single person we're friends with. You watching Selling Sunset? Are you watching? Yeah. You were really trying to find community.
Yes.
And I was laughing at you because nobody was saying yes. And
nobody.
I've been kind of out on the show the last couple of years. I complained about Christine Quinn on that show and the manufacturing of the drama, but since she's been off of it, they really had not succeeded in replacing her with somebody that like the drama was like interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of out on it. I think that they like really honed in on like one storyline the last couple of seasons. And I was just like, I want to know more about everybody else. And you said you were really liking the season. I feel like you did not sell it to me hard enough.
Yeah, I did not sell Sunset hard enough to you. I apologize. I just thought you were kind of out on it, but I guess I wasn't running the tape on previous seasons. To your point, when I really reflect, I don't think I love the last couple as much.
All we did was complain about it.
And I really do love this one.
Yeah.
It's very funny because it's really similar reasons why I watch Emily in Paris. You know, like it's really
The
like
fashion.
it's pretty, the colors,
Right.
the fashion, the architecture.
When we live in LA, I like to see the restaurants.
Yeah, a lot of it is that. I mean, they rarely go to a restaurant that like we haven't been to or that we know about or that's on our list. So I love to see that too. A couple things. And Rain and I did an episode a couple weeks ago called Would You Expose a Cheater? And it was talking about telling your friend if you catch their partner cheating or you hear that their partner's cheating. And that's the whole story arc of the season is Chelsea's husband cheating, but Bri finds out about it and tells her. And then it turns into like this whole like, did she call the cameras to have the conversation with her friend who told her? And we have feelings on that too. But anyway, that kind of turned into the whole thing. And then secondly to that was that dog dying, which fucked me up.
Why was I crying so hard
Raina,
about that
when like Jason was like, he has a few more days to live, I wasn't ready to the point where I was like, I needed a trigger warning. I was sobbing, especially dealing with Dewey, where it was like
Totally.
kidney failure and internal things going wrong. And you know, it's like the end. But when they did that funeral, I was hysterically laughing. Raina, that funeral scene, I'm going to play it. I recorded it for you guys. Did you really take it in?
Yeah, it was insane.
It was as if this like billionaire player had died and all his mistresses were coming to mourn.
I mean, the way they just walked the catwalk with all of their
black
outfits,
No,
wild.
we'll play this on YouTube. Right, I was hysterically laughing. The editing, they do this moment of Bri like slow-mo in her like big black hat. It looked like a bunch of women going to mourn their partner.
Totally.
For this dog funeral. Also, I'm not judging the dog funeral. That's not it.
No, it looked like a huge mogul had passed. I mean,
And these are
everybody
all
was walking the runway. It was crazy. It was so dramatic. Like,
So dramatic.
they have arrived
Raina, I was like, I've never seen
to this backyard in Valley Village.
the way they over dramatically edit that show is
Backyard in
chef's-
Valley Village was a funny dig.
What is it? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
It's Valley Village. It's where all the Vanderpump Rules people
See, I didn't
live.
get the reference. I don't know. Like we talked about this before. Like it's a big Bri and Chelsea feud right now in the tabloids and everywhere else. And Bri has said, like, I told everybody about the affair off camera, like a good person would.
Mm-hmm.
And then we reenacted it for the cameras. But then the storyline is still that what she called cameras to have that lunch with Amanda. But like, who cares? Like, I keep coming back to like, isn't that the point of the show? Like, it's one thing to call cameras to tell someone their husband is cheating, but like to set up what is going to be the storyline is making good TV, and that's your job. I don't know.
I mean, all reality TV, like there's almost nothing that is in the moment that you're actually watching in real time. You very rarely see anything like that. I mean, there's huge meetings. The producers have meetings with every individual cast member. They say, this is what this scene is going to be about. This is what you guys are going to talk about. This is how long it's going to go. I mean, very rarely on reality TV is there ever anything you're seeing that isn't a reenactment. I mean, how many times do you see a husband on Real Housewives ask the wife, like, so you had dinner with the girls last night. How did that go? Like,
Yeah.
she didn't come home last night and tell him. Like, she didn't get into bed with that person and tell them, you know, like everything is a reenactment all the time. So the notion that anything was not pre-approved, scripted, discussed, blocked, like it's so absurd. And I'm the queen of reality TV. Nobody knows more about it than I do. I've watched everything on Bravo since the beginning of time and Netflix. Of all reality TV, the most manufactured is Selling Sunset. I've never seen anything. They don't even attempt to pretend.
Maybe selling the OC a little more.
That's the
I actually think
top.
selling OC is worse.
No, right, that whole franchise. But there's nothing that's more, I mean, Christine Quinn has done interviews about it. Chriselle is on the show. She's done interviews about it. That this is like all bullshit. This is filmed out of order all the time.
Because it's the Hills. It's Adam DeVello, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like he's the guy.
Yes. So nothing is more manufactured than this franchise. And so the notion that like Bri called cameras to film this reveal that Chelsea's husband was cheating, like who cares?
Yeah, like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. And that's not, I don't think I'm being heartless or cruel. It's not saying she called to tell Chelsea and embarrass her without warning. it was part of the show. It's going to be the storyline. Chrishell's divorce was a storyline. Like, that's just the nature of what they're doing.
Also, Chelsea agreed to film the scene where Bri tells her on camera that her husband and father of her children is having a very public affair.
Yeah.
So who cares if then Bri, before that, filmed a reveal of it?
Yeah. So what we've heard from some inside tracks that we have is basically this kind of Chelsea and co, which is like Chrishell and Emma, what they're doing is backfired. Like, they're basically saying like Bri set the stuff up. What actually happened was they set stuff up and then kind of trying to turn the tables. But I will say one thing we heard that was not planned was Nicole, who I just can't stand. Like, whatever, who I don't know what she's like in real life. I really don't like her on the show. When she slipped about Emma having an affair with a married man, you could feel that when the cameras were. We heard that was not supposed to be said. You could watch her kind of try to dial it back, and I feel like you could just feel those cameramen like salivating, like, what the fuck, say more. And like Chrishell started to get all weird and Mary, like they were like, what the fuck? Like, you could tell that they were like, that was not supposed to be said, and now we have to bring that into the season.
I mean, the thing that was so interesting, first of all, Nicole, I don't know what she's like in real life either. She is one of my top 5 least favorite reality show people I've ever seen. She shows up to start drama, but she won't like commit to the drama. It's very strange. Like, Bri, if she's gonna like start some shit, is gonna stand there like in all of her power and be like, I can have this discussion, I can have this conversation. Nicole says incredibly damaging things about people or makes huge mountains out of molehills and then refuses to like participate in the aftermath of it. Like, she very publicly was commenting back and forth to people about Chrishell being gay.
Yeah.
And then had a hysterical meltdown on the show. She's shaking and crying that she can't believe people would call her a homophobe. And it's like, don't start no shit if you can't finish that shit.
Well, and then when Jason goes to hug her, you and I both took photos of our TV screens, and I had them in my camera roll to show nobody because I hadn't had my community yet. You hadn't started watching. I'm like, who can I show this to? He's hugging her from behind. I mean, he's 4'8", and every woman that works there is 6 feet tall, and he's got his arm wrapped around her. We'll show it on YouTube, and it is one of the funniest things ever. And like, you know, it's so sweet, but it's just the way it looks is crazy.
So funny.
Like, that'd be like Raina trying to comfort me from behind. I'd be like, Raina, what are
you doing down there?
Arms around
that is so true.
Yeah, I'm looking back at you like, what are you doing?
I would never touch you like that. That's so funny. But anyways, back to what you said. Nicole, you know, I think Nicole thought like, this is going to be my moment. I don't know. I don't think it was an accident on her part. I think that like no one else knew she was going to do that shit. I think she was like, this is going to be my storyline. I'm going to out Emma for having an affair with a married man. And it so weirdly like didn't take off because nobody would participate in it. Like, Emma didn't find out until recently now that this was said on the show. She did not find out that this was like a storyline, that people were saying this about her because nobody would participate in it.
Yeah, you could tell. But is it true? Like, is there any validity to the claim?
So she said, I know what she's talking about. This is something that happened in 2021. I did not know that this guy was married.
Okay.
Who knows if that's really true or
Right.
not.
Okay.
But like, nobody would participate in this, which is really interesting. And Nicole does double down again in her interviews later on in the season saying like, Emma did this. Everybody knows this. So I think she just thought like, I'm going to really have this like gotcha moment and like nobody cared.
Yeah, it was not. You could tell that they were like, girl, brother, ew. Stop. Okay, well, do you think we covered it? Again, we don't know how many of you guys are still watching this. I feel like this was the hottest show, and I don't know if it kind of fell off, but I do think this season brought a lot of people back. So hopefully you guys who watched it are enjoying the recap.
I like this season. I like watching Amanza talk about dating at 47, and she's had this horrible medical issue. Yeah, she's just like really talking about dating. If I look at her, I'm like, I can't believe you're 47. I was not hot at 27. I like her.
I've always liked Amanza and her storylines.
I like it. We were talking last night that Chrishell, I like her better this season. I think she went a little hard last season and she's dialed it back. I'm liking the characters and the storylines, and it's not so like one note. And of course, I hate to watch anybody's marriage fall apart because children are affected, but like, it's an interesting turn of the tables because Chelsea went so hard on Bri last season.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, we have more for you guys, but just going to tell you about a couple of our partners. I'm telling you about a new partner. So this is Timeline. I heard about this when you and I were talking about biohacking. And this was a while back, but Raina said something about biohacking. And what did I say? I said, is that like crypto? And you laughed so hard. Anyway, we just kind of started talking about trying to turn back the clock of your body and
Your hands.
anti-aging from the inside. You know, I think a lot of times you focus on like skincare and things like that, which is all great. But my mom is somebody who nobody looks better. My mom didn't start aging till, I don't know, 68.
Last week.
She's starting to show her age a little bit. And she's just been somebody that's always believed in like internal like supplements and things like that. So it's always been something that I've been interested in. And Timeline is a Swiss-based life science company. It's a global leader in urolithin A research. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But they spent 10 years doing research to bring this product to market. Urolithin A is a powerful postbiotic that is nearly impossible to get from your diet alone. So MitoPure is the product that we're talking about. It's the first product to offer this precise dose of urolithin A to upgrade your mitochondrial function, increasing cellular energy and improving muscle strength and endurance. So this is just really a breakthrough for healthy aging. It's award-winning clinically proven products, and again, powered by MitoPure. And if you want to think about it, they say that you can think about it like there's little Pac-Men in your cells chomping up the damaged mitochondria that makes you feel old and tired and recycling it into new healthy ones. That's one of the main signs of aging. You just start to feel run down.
Yeah.
You know, like we talk about it, like we've been touring for 6 years. Like we don't have the energy we had day one. I mean, we're doing great. But, you know, like little things, you kind of start to feel that. And so this can really combat that. You can take 2 soft gels a day for 2 months and you can see significant improvements in your cellular energy, muscle strength, and endurance. After 4 months of taking MitoPure, you'll feel yourself getting stronger, recovering faster after a workout, and experiencing less inflammation, all part of your healthier aging routine. I'm new to it. I really can't speak on it. I have just started taking it, so I'm going to report back to you guys in a couple months. But again, mitochondria, our cells' power generators, are a key influence in how we age. So this is why that really works on those. It's the #1 doctor recommended urolithin A supplement, and it is Clean Label Project certified. So there is a berry powder, which is great to mix, and then the soft gels, like I mentioned. So if you prefer to have the powder in, you can put it in your yogurt, you can put it in your smoothie, you can do that, or the soft gels for those days when you're on the run. You can do both also. You can mix and match. And this is great. I mean, again, like who doesn't want to, you know, work on the mitochondria when it comes to aging from within? Okay. So Timeline is offering 10% off your first order of MitoPure. Go to timeline.com/GGE. That's TIMELINE.com/GGE.
Yes. And with all the traveling that especially Ashley and I have coming up in the fall, we're on tour, we're taking all these trips. It's really tough for me to grocery shop and not waste a ton of food. Also, when I get back from all these trips, it's just tough for me to want to cook anything, to be honest. So Daily Harvest is just such a life changer. It's a game changer for me. They deliver delicious smoothies and meals built on organic fruits and vegetables right to my door. It can be stored in my freezer until I'm ready to use them. I mean, I just love everything I've tried from them. There's so much variety, and I don't have to like shop, prep, clean up. Like everything just goes straight into my freezer, and when I'm ready to eat it, it just comes right out. There is tons to choose from. So there's smoothies, there's harvest bowls, there's flatbreads. They're constantly adding new stuff, and I've really never had anything I didn't like from there. So of the bowls, of the harvest bowls, I really like the spinach and shiitake grits. There's a sweet potato and wild rice hash. They have all these bakes. There's a chickpea bake, and then Ashley and I.
That's my fave.
Also, Ashley and I just love the smoothies so much. The mint and cacao is Ashley's favorite. I love the mango and papaya. I'm really bad at smoothies, you guys. I just like don't know the proportions. They make it really easy for me. You can always easily add a protein to any of the bowls or the soups. And they just make eating really well and delicious super easy for me. So it's great meals, snack options, smoothies. Everything's really delicious, ready in minutes. No matter how hectic the calendar, stay fueled with Daily Harvest. Go to dailyharvest.com/GGE to get 15% off your first box of $100 or more. That's dailyharvest.com/GGE, dailyharvest.com/GGE.
Okay, so we want to talk about Diddy, that he was arrested by the feds. And there's so much happening. This is a evolving story.
And has been since 2023.
I mean, for a lot of people for a long time. I mean, people have been talking about this for a long time. And that's what's like so sick, you know, that people know this stuff. And like people that could make an impact are scared to speak up, or they don't listen, or they ignore it. You know, like people have been talking about this for so long.
The charges, so this comes, by the way, from a New York Times article. You should read it. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
Sean Combs indicted on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. I mean, it's so much worse than I could have ever imagined.
No. Yeah.
It's so much more horrifying. So many people are involved in it. And he's accused of maintaining control over his victims through, among other things, physical violence, promises of career opportunities, granting and threatening to withhold financial support. Allegedly, he drugged all these women. He filmed them having sex with male prostitutes. This was constant. And then threatened to release the videos if anybody came after him. It's really, it's so deeply sick and horrifying. It's so much worse than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah, and I think that this is only the tip of the iceberg in terms of what like we're going to find out, you know, especially if he gets locked up forever. People might feel safer even coming out and saying more stuff, which I told you this, I have a hard time even like digesting. It's so sick, you know? And we saw him beat up Cassie in that video. I mean, he's a monster, as is R. Kelly, as is Jeffrey Epstein, all these people. I mean, I want them to rot in jail forever. Like that goes without saying. And we just want to talk about it because it's like, you know, really in the news. And I like was such a Diddy fan for so long. I was such a Bad Boy for life. I mean, not necessarily Diddy. I don't think he's like this amazing musical artist, but like Bad Boy in general and making the band and all of that. And it's like you feel sick of the years you spent giving this person your time and your money, buying CDs, you know, celebrating to his songs. And it's just so sick. I mean, again, this isn't a hot take. Think of all the, you know, Harvey Weinstein movies you watched or whatever it is where you're like, God, I was just supporting like a real monster.
I know. And I can't imagine the bravery of these women that came forward.
Yeah.
And Cassie came out and accused him of these things and was silenced immediately. Within 24 hours, there was an agreement and she paid her off. 5 women came forward after that and brought allegations against him. I mean, the bravery to do something like that when probably he has video of you and so much terrible stuff that he knows that he can release. It's really, really brave of these women because oftentimes, I mean, look at all the people that accused Harvey Weinstein and faced such tremendous backlash.
Yeah. And I think it's, again, when I say the tip of the iceberg, like, I mean, there's so many people out there who, not conspiracy theories, that he killed Tupac, he killed Biggie, he killed his wife. I mean, he's had people killed. I mean, he's really dangerous. And like, he thinks he can pay off everybody. I mean, right now they're trying to get him on a $50 million bond. You know, it's like he paid off, he settled with Cassie. I mean, it's just, this is a man who thinks no matter what, I can pay my way out of it. Like a lot of people who have been in this type of position. And so it's a developing story. The headline now is that they seized 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube from his house, which is like, I don't feel comfortable like making jokes about this. But what I will say is that they probably seized a lot of stuff. And that was someone that was like, that'll go viral. Like someone was like 1,000 lubes, put it out there. Like how much stuff did they seize? And then someone was like, no, that's going to be the headline. And it is.
It's baby oil.
It's just,
1,000
I don't even want to think about it. It makes me sick. But I saw that. And then I do have to say, I will kind of lighten it up with like 50 Cent has been like they've had a years long feud, but has been like trolling and taunting him for a while now. And when you see a lot of the comments and, you know, the Shade Room reports on this around the clock, and you see people just referencing 50. If you don't know, again, they have been, I don't know if enemies is the correct word, but they've had a feud. And then lately he's really been going in, and 50 posted 3 hours ago at this point. It's Tuesday. This picture of him and Drew Barrymore, Drew catching a stray. Here I am keeping good company with... Here I am keeping good company with Drew Barrymore, and I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house. Keep your eyes on 50, everybody. If you're interested in wanting to watch Diddy get like trolled while he's being taken down, like that's the man doing it.
It's such a funny day because it's like it's not nuanced or subtle. You don't have to know anything. It's just like it's really just so funny.
Yeah.
Well, if this is true, which it seems like it is, may he rot in hell and rot in jail. And I wish all the worst things in the world for him.
Well, I had thought this and didn't say it early on when we talked about on the snack, kind of like the public persona of J-Lo and what people may say has been kind of the downfall of J-Lo and her loss of popularity. And I thought J-Lo could redeem herself with coming out against Diddy. And I know that's not so easy, but like she dated this man like
a long time.
I feel like we don't think about that, like for a significant amount of time.
Yeah. Years.
Has she ever said anything? I mean, what does J-Lo have to say about Diddy? And I'm sure she's scared or she can't, or like, I don't know, but I'm just like, I'm surprised more people aren't like, J-Lo, say something. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's not fair. Like she shouldn't have to re-traumatize her. I mean, I'm not saying like a woman shouldn't be responsible, but I'm just saying like I'm dying to know what she has to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a number of things. It could re-traumatize her. She just knows too much, and it would be incredibly incriminating for her to. I mean, I think that it is a very real possibility that she comes out against him, and he says, "You knew all about this entire time. You've always known."
It could totally, yeah, like
Like backfire.
discredit. Yeah, it could backfire.
So, it's interesting that she's staying, Mom, she is busy with Ben Affleck at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Just what is going on?
Right, they're giving us everything. 1 minute they're fighting, then they're canoodling. Like, I'm living for it.
They went to Paparazzi Central. I mean, you and I went to lunch at the Beverly Hills Hotel. There's paparazzi outside. Like, it's paparazzi. They didn't go to the Hilton. Like, they were like, let's walk in here holding hands with all of our kids. And drive off together in the same car.
But then there's that one picture of him. He really looks like he's like yelling at her. It really gave me the ick.
He always looks like that, though.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah,
he might
like
just
look
be
like he. But
he did. But he might be giving her a recipe. Like, you know,
that's a Boston guy.
he just always looks pissed, and I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I wanted to do one quick thing. I want to issue one correction because we're talking about 50. We're talking about rap feuds. And last week when we talked about the Super Bowl and Kendrick, Raina brought up the 2022 Super Bowl, and I just wasn't prepared.
Are you going to issue a correction for me?
I was like, no, I'm blaming you.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. We talked about Kendrick being the performer, and we called back to the Super Bowl, which was Dr. Dre and Snoop and Eminem and 50 and Mary J. Blige. And I just had forgotten that Kendrick was involved in that, and that was in 2022. I am supposed to be the music aficionado.
Totally.
I feel deeply embarrassed about this.
Yeah.
I love that Super Bowl performance so much. It's probably been my favorite of all time. But Kendrick was a little misplaced because he was like a newer artist with all those kind of like more old school artists. But here's the thing. They brought him in, and I appreciate it because he's LA. And now that even makes me think even more why Lil Wayne should be involved in New Orleans. You know, like that's the reason Kendrick got to do that. And so anyway, Lil Wayne has since spoken out. He feels hurt. He's upset. He said it took days for him to even really process it. It also has come out that Jay-Z really did decide this single-handedly.
Okay.
And a lot of people are saying like this is his moment. It's a good choice. And other people still are saying like I like him, I like his music, but he just got to do this 2 years ago. And I don't know, mixed reviews coming out. A lot of people didn't like my Drake take last week, and it's okay. That's okay. I used to feel some of those things too about Drake, and then I just became such a fan. I saw him live, and I still really like respect Kendrick, and I think it was one of my more unpopular opinions, and that's okay.
Great.
It's music.
It's music.
You know?
I would like to issue an addendum, an amendment to you blaming me about not knowing what happened at the 2022 Super Bowl. That was one of the worst days of my life. Oh, no. We performed in DC the night before. I cried the whole way back to New York. I cried that whole day. Emily Fedner was with me. It was the most crying I've ever done. I cannot be held responsible for knowing who performed at that Super Bowl because it was a really bad day for me.
You are not supposed to be held responsible.
Thank you.
I am. And I rewatched it, and it's 15 minutes. Kendrick is 2 of those. So listen, I'm not saying he was forgettable, but like
a lot of people on that field.
A lot of people going on, and like he did his 2 minutes and that was really it. And obviously the stars of that show were Snoop and Dre and then 50 hanging upside down. Once 50 hung upside down, I forgot anything else that happened
there.
After.
Totally.
Mary J. Blige. And so it was just, that was my favorite performance of all time. But that was like so interesting because remember we were saying like they performed in like that little like trailer looking thing. And you were like, if you were in the backside of that, you wouldn't have seen any of this. Like that was the best one to like watch on TV.
I don't understand why they didn't make both of the sides of those boxes just open. Can you imagine if you're behind the boxes?
So anyway, if you guys haven't watched that and you care at all about, I'm sure you watched it, but rewatch it is all I'm saying. We've all seen every Super Bowl halftime show at this point, but rewatch it. Justice for Lil Wayne. I'm a fan. I don't know that he should have been the headliner, but I do think he should have been involved. And, you know, but whatever you guys think, we can all agree to disagree and have fun.
We'll check in after Super Bowl Sunday.
Okay, I am going to tell you guys about Helix. God, I love Helix so much. Sleep on my Helix mattress every single night. We have so many of these mattresses in this family. I've lost track because between Raina's guest rooms, me, my solo guest room, Raina's richer than me, Tessa, Sparkle Eyes, my parents, my brother, everyone in our circle has a Helix mattress, and Lindsay and Buck. I've just totally lost track. And I have the Midnight Luxe. I also have a Moonlight Luxe in my home. You know what? I do have a third one. I have a third one in my little single mattress on my top floor. So we're both three Helixes in our homes. And they have the award-winning Luxe collection, like I mentioned, ultra premium elite collections, the Helix Plus, which is a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers. My brother and his wife have that, and the Helix Kids mattress. Maybe they'll get a Helix Kids mattress too for their 2 kids. So we're just obsessed. I mean, you take this quiz, they're going to match you with your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. benefits. Because I'll tell people, like friends and family members, take the quiz and let me know what they match you with, and I'll tell you if I think that tracks, because I really have like a good handle on all the different models at this point. And the quiz never misses. So you can do that, and then they offer a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress. They have a lot of models to choose from, but not too many. It's not overwhelming. And again, you can choose the Luxe, the Elite, or just the standard models, which are great. Honestly, they're all just so great. Such high quality. They've been awarded #1 mattress pick by GQ Wired magazine, even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. I mean, I would refuse to talk about this company if we didn't sleep on these mattresses. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it, because it's like sleep is so important, and we really want to promote what we sleep on and what gives us a good night's sleep. Okay, so you guys can get on it. Helix is offering 25% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/GGE. That's helixsleep.com/GGE. This is our best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Yes, and this episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's something that you guys would love to learn? So kids are always learning and growing, but as adults, sometimes we sort of lose that curiosity. And if you think about like, what do you want to learn? So is it gardening or a new language, or maybe how to finally beat your best friend in bowling? I like these talking points.
You've been after me for years.
But therapy can kind of help you reconnect with this sense of wonder and bring you this, like, as like we're going like back to school era. And I really like this. I think therapy can be incredible, of course, for like setting boundaries and creating healthier habits and empowering you to make decisions about your love life, your work life, any type of personal life. But maybe you're just like, I'm kind of bored and I don't know what's next and I don't know where I should be in life. And it can kind of help you suss that out. And what do you want to make time for? What kind of new interests and hobbies can you lean into, or even possibly a new career? If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GGE today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GGE. So we wanted to talk about this article that came out in The Cut. Which celebrity beauty brands are any good? Anonymous reviews from 25 beauty editors. So this came out September 9th on The Cut.
Well, also let me jump in. The other article on The Cut that was a encyclopedia of all the celeb beauty brands, and we posted this on our story. I mean, it's shocking. You guys didn't know all these. I mean, no one could possibly know. I mean, I guess if this is what you do for a living, but there's got to be, 100. I mean, there's a ton, and we can put these up on YouTube as well. But we posted, these are all the celebs who have beauty brands, huge list. And then we asked, how many did you guys know about? 39% of you said hardly any. What the fuck? 42% of you said a few. So most people said a few. 15% said about half. And then 4% of you said most of them. And that comes from like 20,000 people. Again, we do good research, good surveys. So anyway, I'll kick it back to you. But there's just so many. Everyone has one.
There's so many. And some people are so synonymously tied to the brands. And I think those people have done the best with their brands. So, you see Rihanna with Fenty. You see Selena Gomez with Rare Beauty and Hailey Bieber with Rhodes. So many of these people have really pivoted from what their original career is, which is music, movies, fashion, into these brands, which I think is so brilliant. And a lot of them are not tied to the brand synonymously and are making a fortune from it.
Yeah.
So I think it's brilliant for a couple of reasons. You see some of these artists tie themselves to existing brands. And I was reading an article, Diet Prada posted something about this yesterday or in the last couple of days. Some of these big stars have tied themselves to existing brands, mainly fast fashion, and gotten a lot of blowback. So Charli XCX with H&M, Lizzo with Fabletics, and Kourtney Kardashian started her own brand. But before that, Boohoo, she became a partner there. So a lot of blowback. But you and I were talking about this. Not everybody can just start a brand.
Yeah, if you want to do well and you want to be involved in the product development, and if you really want to be involved and start a company, it takes a lot. You and I did. I mean, I think I used to just feel like celebrity brands were kind of bullshit like a long time ago. I don't know who like the OGs were, but I guess that we used to kind of have an underlying feeling like they don't really use this stuff. I feel like we all had this awakening where like no one uses this stuff, but then I do think it's, and it all just felt like a cash grab, but I do feel like it's different now, and I hope it is. They're either using their own products or they're doing a damn good job pretending that they do. And to me, I think authenticity is so important. Like, people care about it more than ever and hold their celebrities and their influencers accountable. And I could think it comes down to like, what's the motivation to start these companies? Yes, money. These women are billionaires from it, a lot of them. But like also you start a company because you're fulfilling a need, you're making a product that you would use. Otherwise it just feels like you're like, oh, they'll buy whatever I sell. It's like you're just kind of taking advantage of and exploiting your audience. And this isn't a conversation just to plug Vibes Only, which is our sex toy company that we have and we sell lube and other things. But like, I only use our vibrators. We created the best possible vibrators you could create, the best lube. I use other ones for R&D, but like ours are the absolute best. And we've tried them all. And we made a product we saw a hole in the market for, and we wanted to take what was out there and make it better. And it's like when you feel like what Rihanna's done with Fenty with the shades that really didn't exist before. There wasn't a lot of them. Like you feel like she saw a need to make a beauty brand that was fulfilling a need for people. And so I think that's when people really feel that authenticity and that it's genuine as opposed to a cash grab.
Totally. I mean, and you know, the height of the cash grab, you can look at
Swim.
J-Lo with Lola, her alcohol brand, and Blake Lively with Betty Booze, both of them famously not drinkers. J-Lo has come forward and said, I enjoy a cocktail here and there. I think she was just trying to save face a little bit. Blake Lively doesn't drink. Both of them launched cocktail brands. It feels like a cash grab, whereas J-Lo Beauty, I'll do whatever she says. Anything to look like J-Lo.
Yeah, the alcohol thing is interesting because it's like we were talking about this with someone else on our team, and she's like, both of these women have been like, alcohol's poison, basically. They haven't used those words, but like, I would never drink, but you should. Right. And again, Blake Lively started with mixers, right? Non-alcoholic, which is on brand, and then transitioned into alcohol. And she's come out and said like, yeah, but like, I'm a great host and I can make alcoholic drinks for people. And no, I don't drink, but this is for you. And it doesn't sit right with me. J-Lo has come out, like you said, and said like, I dabble, but I don't like that it's like, I don't do this, but you should. Can you imagine us? I don't masturbate, but you should.
I don't believe in it. I think it's bad for your sex life.
Yeah.
The people that have done the best job with this, I mean, Selena Gomez, there was just an article. She's a billionaire now. She's worth $1.3 billion. It's Rare Beauty. Rihanna's worth $1.4 billion. Jessica Simpson, famously billionaire from her clothing line. Ryan Reynolds. And then, of course, the number one example is Kylie Jenner with her makeup line and Kim Kardashian with Skims, makeup, everything that she's done.
Good American, by the way.
And so Khloe Kardashian, not a billionaire, but huge brand. All the Kardashians have been tremendously successful, tying themselves really, really tightly to the brands. So they're at the creative meetings. They're the models for all the shoots.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the most highly tied to their brands, and it shows because they're the richest.
Yeah. I mean, I've bought jeans because Khloe's wearing them in a episode of the Kardashians. You know, like who knows how much they wear these when they're not filming, but they really do seem like they created products that they wanted and saw a need for, especially like the sizing with Good American and so being so inclusive and something like that. Also, we said this is going to be beauty, but now it's transitioning into fashion. But like the beauty specifically, I mean, to me, because it's just like so many. I mean, there's so many that I didn't know existed. Like, I mean, we have like everybody, obviously Drew Barrymore, I knew about that. Harry Styles.
Has a nail company.
Jada Pinkett Smith, Lori Harvey, Tracy Ellis Ross, and a lot of people, Billie Eilish, I mean, Alicia Keys, of course, Beyonce has her hair care line. And when we asked you guys what you liked the most, I mean, it was Rare Beauty by a landslide and probably Fenty after that. And then
those are probably the most well-known names as well. Like a lot of these, as I was scrolling, I just didn't, like Harry Styles has a nail line I never would have heard of. Pharrell has a sunscreen line.
Yeah.
I never would have heard of any of this stuff. Scarlett Johansson has a company called the Outset. It's good for a hypersensitive, acne-prone, reactive skin. I didn't really know that all these people had these brands, which also kind of begs the question with like, how much is just enough?
It's too much. I know. And to me, I'm like, I'll do makeup all day, but when it comes to skincare, I don't go the celeb route. Like I'm not into that. Like, I don't care who's making it. I'm like, I want to go with the pros. Not saying that they're not the pros, but makeup feels a little different to me. And then again, the cut kind of highlighted some that people liked. I mean, people love that Rhode lip balm, but some people don't like it. They say it's sticky. People said Blake Lively's hair care line was 10 years too late. People love Lady Gaga. Also, our audience loves this House Labs. They love Lady Gaga. People said they were scared to say anything bad about Sacred, Beyonce's line, because they would get kicked off a PR list.
I have not tried it. I think the packaging is really beautiful. I think if you really can't identify a niche in the market, at least have better packaging.
I just, I trust Beyonce. And then one of the sleeper hits was Taraji P. Henson's body care products, TPH by Taraji. And you know what I thought was a great thing that came out that was so affordable and accessible was The Rock's men's line.
What? It's for skincare?
The Rock. Yeah, he put out those products. I think they were like in Target.
Azalea Banks has a line of anal soaps for gay men. I mean, there's so much out there like I didn't even know existed. And I think a lot of this is, they're not doing the research. This is stuff that's backed by research and doctors and tested heavily, and they just attach their names to it. And I understand the need to do that. And of course, I'm not saying Selena Gomez just attached her name to Rare Beauty. I have no idea how involved she is, but I understand it from a business perspective. You really get your bag there.
Yeah, and I do wonder at what point is it too much, but clearly for the people that make it at the top, like Rihanna doesn't even do music anymore.
It's pretty crazy.
Fenty became synonymous with Rihanna, which is just kind of a crazy thing. So I don't know. We just thought it was interesting. There's all these articles out there, and just the sheer number of celebrities who have these lines, I was not aware of. It seems like everybody really does. Which should we wrap up with the news that we just heard today? Speaking of the Kardashians,
yeah, this news came out today. I read a couple articles. I have sort of mixed feelings, but Kourtney Kardashian has released an Ozempic alternative, and it helps feed the lie that natural is better. So this article is on Teen Vogue. There's a couple other articles that are out today, but she basically is saying she has a natural alternative through her supplements company that is producing a product based on pseudoscience. This article asserts that it is not. The supplement draws its name from the hormone GLP-1. So it influences factors like feeling satisfied after eating and how quickly the stomach empties and insulin production. So much like Ozempic.
I just really don't like this. I feel like it's irresponsible marketing targeting vulnerable people. Like calling something a natural Ozempic feels like bullshit to me. Mm-hmm. And they are using the language of GLP-1, which is the hormone that helps regulate blood sugar, digestion, appetite. So it's not like inaccurate, but I feel like it's deceptive marketing to make people think it's a semi-glutide, which is like a medicine that is like injected and like prescribed by a doctor. If this helps people, that's great. But I think it's like people who so desperately want to lose weight and they can't afford Ozempic are going to turn to this, spend $70 a month and not see results. And doctors are saying like, sure, there's some basis for the ingredients they put into this. Like it's not snake oil, but like calling it nature's Ozempic feels unethical to me.
It's like a marketing ploy, right? That you see the word Ozempic and you're like, I can get that for a sixth of the price.
No, you can't.
Amazing.
It's a lie.
So $72 is not also cheap. That's a ton of money to spend on a medicine per month. Ozempic is something, like we said, it's monitored by a doctor and portioned out by a doctor. There's been diet pills around forever. Diet culture has been around forever. You could say this is an appetite suppressant or a diet pill, but to call it an Ozempic alternative, it's just, that's not really what it is just because it has a couple of ingredients of Ozempic.
It has like saffron in it. Also they sold a metabolism booster and a fat burner gummy. Mm-hmm. It has good reviews. Who knows? But so like they already had a diet pill, quote unquote. But to me, this feels like how can we go even harder and jump on the Ozempic craze? And it just does feel like irresponsible to me. Also, a lot of people don't know that supplements are not regulated by the FDA. They said they've like done the research, whatever, but they're not regulated by the FDA like medicine and drugs are. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say, if it works for people and it doesn't give you explosive diarrhea, which is a side effect, the experts say, then that's fine. Even if it's a placebo effect, if it impacts your life, again, always talk to your doctor about supplements and things like that. But it just ultimately feels icky to me, the marketing of it all.
Yeah, and it's a lot of money to spend per month. It's on a wish and a dream.
Yeah, a wish and a dream. Okay, well, thank you guys for weighing in on the beauty brands that you like. And we just, we like reading about this kind of stuff as people who also started a product company. Mm-hmm. And two things really quick, Rex, I wanted to say. I am reading my first Emily Henry book. It's Happy Place, which everybody loves Emily Henry. She's like the beach read queen. Mm-hmm. And Raina said start with Happy Place. So I'm reading that and I'm loving it. And I watched Babes on a Plane, which is Ilana Glazer and Michelle Buteau.
Okay.
And it opens and she's giving birth. And then Ilana Glazer actually gets pregnant. I don't want to give spoilers, but it's the storyline of who she gets pregnant by. It's crazy. And then it's just a really fun, funny watch about like having a baby postpartum, like how crazy it is. And when she gives birth at the end, she's like in doggy style. And I was laughing on this plane. She was like, I don't want to give birth in doggy style. Like I laughed so hard and I've like not forgotten about it, but it's a great story. And it's like a heartwarming like friendship story. And Hassan Minaj is in it. He plays Michelle Buteau's husband. And I just really enjoyed it. So that had been on my list and it was on a plane. I was like, perfect movie to watch on a plane. So anyway, those 2 little recs.
Okay, I usually recs for you guys, but mostly I'm just giving Ashley my recs. And I'm on my 26th book. 27 actually. I've finished 26 this year. I said I would do 30. So
she's gonna get there.
Brittany asked me if I was having a personal crisis, but
we were talking
like
last night at
now.
dinner. We're like, when Raina's reading too much, we're like, she's really going through it.
Okay, she's really going through it. But yeah, I've read some great books this year. So I told you guys to check out Tell Me Lies as a book, and After I Do, and Ashley and I love ghosts. So really good books out there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed it. Register to vote. You can find tickets for our tour at girlsgottaeat.com. We are so excited to see you guys in all your cities. Girls Gotta Eat Podcast is our handle on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Ash Hess. Raina is Raina.Greenberg. You can subscribe on YouTube. Share this episode with a friend. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you Monday.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye.